Welcome, Gemini. Thanks for tuning into your reading. I hope you guys are doing well. So this is for April 2022, your Love and Money Tarotscope. We've got that So 80s Tarot pre-shuffled, but before we get into that, I'm going to draw a card from the Romantic Fairies deck. So go ahead and think about any questions or concerns, romantically speaking, that you have this month, Gemini. I was going to call you Virgo for some reason, or some of you dealing with a Virgo. Angel spirits and guides for all the Geminis who have tuned in, or Gemini placements that have tuned in for this reading. What can you tell us about April 2022, please? What guidance do you have for Gemini? Regarding romance in April of 2022. We got responsibilities. Romance interrupted, duties come first. Okay, interesting. So it looks like responsibilities are taking a front seat here, romance a back seat, at least for part of the month of April. Let's get a card from the Healing with the Fairies as well. I'm hearing some of you, this is already the case. Okay, so you're coming in the month just having that already be the case. We'll see if that changes at all. For Gemini for April of 2022, please, Spirit, regarding love and money, what guidance do you have for them, please? We've got inner child. Okay, so your inner child is needing some attention here, Gemini. We've got laughter at the back of the deck. Maybe you're just being too serious about life. They want you to laugh. Maybe you don't. Maybe you think because of the responsibilities that you have that you can't afford to laugh. You can't afford to relax. But actually, solutions become more evident when our mind is relaxed. We also are able to better manifest our desires and set things into motion and be just generally more productive when we have a relaxed mind. So I feel like you're definitely needing to embrace yourself and speak kindly to yourself. Think kind thoughts about yourself and do something that you used to love doing, or that you know, will kind of spoil your inner child a little bit. And, you know, don't worry about you know, how that might look or what people might think. You need to take care of you, and that begins with taking care of your inner child. So it looks like responsibilities are weighing you down, and so your inner child is feeling neglected. And if you do feel neglected or stressed out, circumstances aside, the most likely reason is that your inner child feels neglected. So definitely give her the attention you would to any child, and do nice things for it, and say nice things to it, okay? So that will be pushed out into your reality, and it will change like what you're drawing into your life, and just have a beneficial effect all the way around. So let's look at the cards here. So for the first part, this is going to go like first part, second part, and last part of the month of April, and the last card will also be considered the future outcome card, which is the big message from Spirit. Spirit wants you to know, okay? So with that being said, what we've got here first off for you is the Hermit card. So Hermit card came out first. Oscar the Grouch, okay? Excuse me. Hence the need to take care of your inner child a little bit. This is probably the perfect deck for you then, because this speaks very much to the inner child, especially for us 80s kids, but even if not, very colorful sort of cards. Then we've got the Ten of Cups. And, excuse me, we've got the Wheel of Fortune. So what are we seeing here for the first part of April? With the Hermit here, it says you are taking some alone time, which is good, okay? Or you need to. Like, this is Spirit's guidance, advice, just like telling people to scram so that you can hug your stuffed animal, or watch a favorite show from childhood, or listen to a favorite piece of music. Do something fun, nurture yourself, take care of yourself here. Some alone time is needed however you cut it, and especially if you're in a relationship, there's a need to take some alone time, okay? And if you're in a relationship, there's definitely, this card coming out, you know, indicates a need for more self-reliance and independence here. Again, some of you could be feeling neglected by your partner. Maybe they're the ones with responsibilities and you feel like they're not giving you enough attention. The inner child card again says that if you feel that way, it's likely coming from within you. So to shift that, there is some alone time that needs to be taken here. I see you doing that the first part of April. And this is good because with the Hermit, it talks about, you know, discovering things about yourself and your life path, and how to navigate your way forward. So it's really giving you like the perspective and the insight on what you want, in, you know, like the direction that you're going, and how to get more of what you want and less of what you don't want, right? It's a soul-seeking, soul-searching card. So with that being said, we see, financially speaking, money and finances, you know, it's probably going to take a back seat to your spiritual concerns, to this need to laugh, lighten up, relax, this need to attend to your inner child or your spiritual needs or your alone time, right? So at the beginning of April, we're seeing, you know, spiritual concerns sort of trumping the money and financial concerns or responsibilities that you might have. I don't see you being negligent. I just see it not being so highlighted at the beginning of April. So some of you may seek the guidance or advice of someone more experienced than you in certain financial matters regarding some sort of a money issue. But aside from that, I don't see it being a main or major focus. Moving forward into the middle of the month, approximately thereabouts, we've got the Ten of Cups, and the Ten of Cups cannot be overstated. It's an extremely positive card. It just basically says that life is good. So if you're coming out of a tough time, just know that life is good. It's looking quite bright towards the middle of April, and this is a card of abundance. So it's showing us abundance in all things. So emotionally, financially, family-wise, and it also shows a happy completion of a cycle. So if there's some sort of cycle that you've been involved in, we're seeing some sort of an ending of a happy kind here as you level up from something that you were doing and you end that cycle to begin a happier one with the Ten of Cups. It does show a supportive and loving, joyful relationship. So if you have been feeling neglected, you know, never fear. Worries aside, we see that there is an upswing happening in your relationship where you are feeling more supportive and more supported, and happier in general. Or if you're not in a relationship, this is talking about, you know, a happy family life with your family or friends who feel like family. There is this energy of, you know, everybody that's in your life and close to you in mid-April will be sharing openly with you and with each other, and it's just an energy of feeling happy and feeling secure. Okay, so it's a very positive card. With it talking about, like, financially speaking, it's basically just talking about more of the same. Financial, it indicates financial security, financial comforts, like having the comforts of home, being comfortable financially, efforts paying off because it is the end of a cycle. So this cycle of responsibility and feeling neglected and things like that, being stressed, that cycle is ending, and things, you know, you're going to see sort of like a payoff for the investment of your time and your blood, sweat, and tears. Okay, so efforts are paying off. Family money or an inheritance for an odd few could be coming to the forefront. That could be happening too. Some sort of family money. So with the Wheel of Fortune being the last card, and I like how we see the progress here too. We've got the 9, which is the end of a cycle. Kind of like a rough end of the cycle, being that it's on the Hermit card, and, you know, the Hermit's kind of grouchy, at least on this card in particular in this deck. But then it moves forward. We see the progress as it moves to the number 10, and then another 10, showing both the close of a cycle, and then 10 reduces to 1, which is the beginning of a new cycle. So with this Wheel of Fortune, it is showing us that, you know, for some of you who are single, this indicates a new romance beginning, or if you are in a relationship, things are improving in that relationship. So you don't need to know how or why this is going to happen, where you're going to meet the special somebody, or how your relationship's going to improve. You're just being asked with that Wheel of Fortune to enjoy it while it lasts, right? Because Wheel of Fortune, it spins, so its energies are transient. In other words, just enjoy it while it lasts, because this too shall pass, and that's okay. Just learn to go with the flow. That's always kind of like the underlying message or lesson from the Wheel of Fortune. The positive thing here is that the flow is going to be in your favor. It's going to be downstream towards the end of April. You're not going to be swimming against the stream. You're not going to be swimming against the current. You're going to be swimming with it, which is always nicer, a nicer thing to do, and it gets you further. So we see that happening. Also, this is telling us that a wish can be granted. So if you've made some sort of a wish, or now might be a good time to make a wish, place your order to the universe so that that wish can have a chance of being granted towards the end of April. Okay. So financially speaking, you know, this is just as positive a card financially, because it's talking about, you know, something that you started in the past, maybe all this like work that you've been doing, all these responsibilities that you've been taking on that's made you feel neglected, or made your partner or somebody feel neglected, and it's affecting you. This is paying off. It was not all for nothing, because this shows that something that you started in the past is bringing in some good fortune for you. So finances could definitely be improving. And they could be improving through lucky events as well. And you might not even see where it's coming from. You might not be able to anticipate like where can this financial improvement come from. That's the nature of the Wheel of Fortune. It's a gamble. It's something that happens that's kind of fated to happen or meant to be, and you don't really necessarily need to know how or why it happens. But we definitely do see finances improving, lucky events, or an uptick in your luck at the end of the month. And so with that being said, you want to take the opportunities that present themselves, because you're going to be in a lucky energy towards the end of the month. So if ever an opportunity is going to pay off, it will be at the end of the month for you, or just the entire month of April. Perhaps from the point of the 10 of Cups mid-April on, you're going to be in a luckier energy, which is very nice to see. So if you have somebody on your mind, we're going to get messages from them. Otherwise, this could be a message from a future partner. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And if you like the reading, please hit that like button, subscribe, and hit the bell to receive notifications so you don't miss my next video. If you'd like a private reading, my contact information is down below in the description box. So thanks to those of you who've gotten private readings from me. All of this does support the channel and keep it afloat. Okay. So for Gemini, April 2022, Spirit, what would their person of interest say to them if their person of interest had no filter? This one. We've got, I love your sharp insights and how you get to the heart of a matter. You know how to make a point. Okay, so even if you are a little grouchy, a little bit like Oscar the Grouch, and maybe even if at the beginning of the month you were having to tell people to scram, I need my space, I need to work on me. The tarot lady told me that my inner child feels neglected, and that if I continue to neglect my inner child, then my life is going to continue to give me a hard time or make me feel neglected. So just know that whatever happens, it's okay. If you need to separate yourself from those you love for a little bit to give yourself the space you need to heal and develop and take care of you, they'll get over it, okay? And you are appreciated anyway, regardless, for your sharp insights and how you get to the point, and that you know how to make a point, which is very air sign energy anyway. I think people learn from you quite a bit. And then we've got, we may be opposites, but if we try, we can make a potent combination. It's possible we'll end up together. So, yeah, that's the Temperance card. Is talking about a healing occurring within relationships, and it's a very positive card to go on top of another positive card, the 10 of Cups, and it's just saying whatever differences that you might have with somebody, or within your family or friends group, but especially romantically and regarding whoever you had on your mind when I pulled the card, this is saying that regardless of those differences, and like your person still thinks that this can work, and that it's possible that you'll end up together, okay? Maybe you are ending up together with the end of the cycle, with the sense of completion with 2 10s in a row, but they definitely think that there is potential in this connection. Or if this is somebody that you haven't met yet, then they will think this. And then we've got, I've been through so much hardship, I'm just afraid of getting hurt again, okay? So it could be kind of difficult for somebody in your life to allow like things to flow naturally and smoothly, and to really like sort of appreciate the goodness that's coming into this relationship. With that Wheel of Fortune, one of the challenges is to trust in your luck, and that your luck is changing, to ride that wave out and enjoy yourself while it lasts, because you're afraid that if you let yourself go in and enjoy yourself, that you might get hurt again. You might trip and fall. You might fall off of your surfboard, right? You're riding the wave and it's exhilarating, but then you might fall off, and then maybe you will hurt yourself, right? So I feel like whoever you're on this ride with towards the end of the month especially is someone that's afraid that they're going to get hurt, and maybe they've already been through a lot in relationships. So just know that somebody needs to know that message, and it could even resonate for you. I suspect for many it will, that this is like, how do I go with the flow? How do I like you know, enjoy myself when I know that, you know, this feeling will be transient and what goes up must come down. But this is just saying, you know, that's just your ego and your fear talking. You know, you don't have to be afraid. Just because you were hurt in the past doesn't mean that you're going to be hurt again or in the same way. And, you know, that's just the nature of life, you know. Life is a roller coaster. It goes up and down. So, you know, you might as well enjoy the good times while they're here. And, you know, because they're going to go away again, more than likely, because that's life. But then they always come back around again, okay? So let's get you an advice card from the manifestation deck for Gemini for April of 2022 regarding love and money. What would their guides like to tell them? What advice does their guides have for them? Yep, trust the process. Everything always works out. Something better is on the horizon. Have total confidence in the universe. So they're asking you to trust the process. Go with the flow. It's everything I was already saying. They're letting you know everything is going to work out and be fine. I suspect, like I said before, you guys are coming into the month feeling a little roughed up by life. Responsibility is weighing heavily on your shoulders, or it's affecting you somehow. This is asking you to have total confidence in yourself and the universe. So yourself and the universe are the same thing. So have total confidence and trust. There are better times on the horizon. We can see that here. With the Ten of Cups and the Wheel of Fortune. We've got mindfulness, awareness of thoughts without judgment, okay? Meditate, breathe, yoga, be present and grace, okay? So this is asking you to be mindful, you know, pay attention to the implications of every thought. Sometimes we think negative thoughts, or our thoughts are on autopilot, and we just keep on attracting the same unwanted experiences because we're not mindful enough. We're just going through the motions. That can happen a lot when you have a lot on your shoulders and you're dealing with a lot of responsibilities. So a way that you can do that, maybe when you're hermiting and you're doing your little spiritual practices, is to, you know, try out some yoga, do some meditation, just sit quietly and pay attention to your breathing, right? At the very least, you know, just avoid judging things. You know, the mind automatically judges. That's what it does. But when we're children, you know, if you can recall, that before I had words for everything, that I would see, say, like this cloth on the table, it's blue, and I wouldn't have the word for blue, but I would have a feeling that I would associate with it. And the shine of that wand right there, I wouldn't know the word for it, but I would have a feeling or some sort of sense about it that I just, you know, it's mindfulness. It's being present and it's not judging. You don't need to categorize and judge everything, okay? That's what grace looks like. That's what being present looks like, okay? So this has something to do, I feel, with the Hermit in the beginning, and then towards the end, you're being drawn more into the energy of needing to trust the process. That's what I got for you, Gemini. Thank you so much for tuning in. Again, please hit that like button, subscribe, and comment down below. Hit the bell to receive notifications if you don't want to miss my next video, and I will talk to you guys next time.